Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on May the 13th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So in terms of what's going on in the markets currently, first of all, Bitcoin, we have seen a drop in Bitcoin, and it actually dropped right after the market close here, or just a little while ago here. And that has to, so this is the drop for the day, which is just right after the market close. Quite a drop here, and that was because Tesla said that they will not be accepting Bitcoins for Teslas anymore. And this is what's been problem with Bitcoin lately. Tesla sold part of their holdings in Bitcoin, and then now this recent news that Tesla won't be accepting Bitcoin anymore. So this is not good news for Bitcoin, and this is why we have seen the drop in Bitcoin. This is why it hasn't been able to go through or go any higher through the resistance. Okay, other than that, we did have the markets dropping. The stock market has dropped, which was a continuation from yesterday, and quite a big drop actually, considering the last recent move. We'll take a look at the charts in just a bit for that. So overall, there's a risk-off sentiment in the markets, and we may see that continue. So we'll have to take a look, but we've had a drop, quite a bit of a drop here with the risk-off thing. So watch out for pullbacks. All right, in terms of the news that's coming up, we do have unemployment numbers from the US here. And right now, they're sort of in line. Excuse me, they're in line with previous numbers. So if they come in as expected, I wouldn't expect much of a change in the US dollar. But we do have Bank of Canada and Bank of England. Both of these central banks here are looking at raising rates or tightening the monetary policy. So any further comments in that regard would be good for both of these currencies. We also have bond auction here for the US, but Euro zone here, France, Germany, so Europe is close. So as a result of that, the European session may be a bit slow. So just bear that in mind. Let's go on to the charts here. We'll start off as usual with the euro dollar here. So euro, big drop here in euro, as we had discussed yesterday. Price wasn't able to go through the resistance here, and we have that drop almost into our into the base of this candle here. So bias is still bearish. That's a nice big drop. Now I will look for a bit of a pullback here. So part of the reason here is, or a big part of the reason here, is the US dollar. With the stock market dropping, we are into the risk-off sentiment here, and the money is moving into safe haven currencies, which US dollar is one of, and that's why we are seeing this strength in the US dollar again. So if the stock markets continue to drop, it would be good for the US dollar. So with this one here, looking for a further drop, so a bit of a pullback, and then looking for a drop. But again, keep in mind this here at 1.2050, this is an important support resistance level. So we need to see price go through this one for a continuation to the downside. So I'm looking for a bit of a pullback towards 1.2100 level, or just into the 1.2085-ish level, and then looking for a drop. In terms of targets here, the first target is a 1.2050, second target 1.200. So bearish bias for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one also dropped. As we can see, price wasn't able to go through the resistance yesterday, and we talked about how this could mean it will drop. So we have seen that drop. Still looking for a continuation to the downside here. Bias is bearish, a bit of looking for a bit of a pullback here also, and then a drop. So bias is bearish. First target here is a 1.40, and then the second target is a 1.3920 here. So bearish bias for pound dollar as well. Aussie dollar here, this one as well, nice drop here for Aussie, so bearish bias First target is 0.7690, and then second target here is 0.7635. So bearish bias for Aussie dollar as well. New Zealand dollar, same thing here. It held, and now we are looking for a continuation to the downside here. So especially the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar, they are tied into the markets. So when the stock markets drop, these drop as well. So with this one, bearish bias 0.7115 is the first target. And then second target here would be 0.7070. So bearish bias here for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD, this one as well, it dropped initially, and then we have a bullish pin bar here. So looking for a further move to the upside. Now, keep in mind, we are into a bit of a resistance level here as well. So this, over the last 3 days, price has been stuck in this a bit of a range here. If it holds below 1.2150, we could see a range bound move here. But right now, bias is neutral to bullish. I'm looking for a move towards a 1.2200. So neutral to bullish bias here for dollar CAD. All right, looking at commodities here, silver couldn't get through the resistance. We have a nice bearish engulfing candle close. So stock markets selling off, and silver is selling off with the stock markets as well. In this case, bearish bias. Again, watch out. We are coming right into the support at 26.80, but bearish bias and looking for a continuation of this downward move. So if we see the stock market turn around, we could see silver turn around as well. And right now, looking bearish. 26.80 is the first target, and second target here is 26.45. Gold here, gold also dropped a fair bit. Bias here is bearish. We are into strong support, so that's something to be careful about. But bearish bias here, watch out for a bit of a pullback into 1823-ish level, and then looking for a drop. So for this one here as well, if the stock market starts to go higher, we're likely to see drop, or we're likely to see this one go higher as well. So with the stock market, we are hearing of margin calls, and hence the sell-off in the stock market. So we'll monitor that. Oil was bullish. We saw it go right into the resistance here, but then it failed. So also news of the pipeline opening back again. So some of those supply concerns may go away as the pipeline starts to basically go back into full production mode here. So in this case, looking for a drop, looking for a move back into the range here. So bias here is neutral. I'm looking for a range bound move here for oil between 66.65 and 63.50. Copper here, copper also looking bearish here, couldn't make it all the way up, and here we are back again. Now this is the range it seems to have established. So watch out at 4.65. Things could turn around, but looking bearish. And this is the move I'm looking for towards 4.56. So bearish bias here for copper. Bitcoin here. Bitcoin, like we discussed, first Tesla sold off part of their holdings, and now they said they will not be accepting Bitcoin for Teslas anymore. So that is concerning, and this is why we are seeing this drop. It is likely to continue. So the first target here is 50,270, and then we could see it come all the way back into 46,900. And if it breaks through this support, then we are basically looking for these levels, and then we could see it drop a fair bit. So let's see, right now it seems to be accelerating. So does not look good at this point. So we may see a bit more of a drop. So that's, yeah, this is quite a free fall mode here. Anyway, bearish bias for Bitcoin. First target 50,270. then 47,000 is the second target for Bitcoin. S&P 500, quite a drop here. So now bias is bearish. The concern will be that it has dropped a fair bit over the last 3 days, which means we could get pullbacks here. So bias is bearish here and looking for price to drop further. The next target will be 4020. So bearish bias. Watch out for pullbacks though, but looking for a further drop. 4050 and 4020 are the next two targets. NASDAQ here, this one also dropped and still looks bearish. I would look for a full pullback towards 13,000 and then looking for a further drop. So bearish bias. Next target is 12,785. And then Dow Jones here also looking bearish. Nice move over the last 3 days. So next target is 33,160. So bias here is bearish for Dow Jones. DAX here, DAX also looking bearish. It's holding below the previous range that it was operating in. So next target here is 14,835. So bearish bias there. And FTSE did bounce off of the support level here. But if the other stock markets continue to drop, we could see this one dropping as well. So first target is 6,900 and then 6,850. And last one here, Nikkei also had a nice drop here. So bearish bias. In this case, watch out for a pullback towards 28,000 and then looking for a drop from there. So bearish bias. First target here, or the target here would be 27,350. So that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.